There's a lot of opportunity that we saw in Phase 3 of the Queen Center that wasn't realized. And I think that that's become a reality that we have started to accept, however reluctantly. And so what we're doing is we're actually looking at putting in place a broader vision of what student life space should be looking like moving forward. So one of the big initiatives that I undertook this year, along with Allison Williams, was to start the discussions around, we have a campus master plan, we have a library and archives master plan, we need to now have a student life space master plan to look at not only within this student life space cluster here with the JDEC and the Queen Center, but other areas across campus. You're seeing, down at Beamish Monroe, we have the Enstock Lounge, we have the Red Room down in Kingston Hall. There's a lot of student life space over on West Campus as well. So where across campus can we see the future development of student life space? So we're undertaking a comprehensive survey that went out to students. We had a very high response rate, which is fantastic. We're now working with the departments and schools to figure out exactly what is their complement of student life space, or what do they consider student life space. And that includes informal areas, that includes the grad lounges. And once we have a full inventory of what we've got, we now have the data that tells us exactly what are the needs that are not being met in terms of quantity and quality. And based off of that, we're going to be able to design a student life space master plan that's going to be fully in line with what students want and need moving forward. I think it's no secret that the JDEC needs a little TLC. And we've been working really hard to make it a much more vibrant place, and we are trying to make it more of a destination. And we're seeing that through, we just replaced all the Lower Cayley tables, which are heavily used now for study space, especially as we go into midterms and finals. We are putting in place a brand new lighting project throughout the JDEC as well, which not only meets our energy management demands, there's going to be a 57% reduction in lighting demand across the JDEC, but it's also going to be a much brighter bulb. So we're trying to make sure that there's a lot brighter spaces throughout the JDEC as well. And I think that we're looking at what are these spaces used for primarily. And I think through the feedback that we've had with the JDEC long-term plan in particular is a lot of groups want to use these spaces for conferences, for large-scale events. And if you come here on any given weekend, you're going to see a conference or a large activity going on. And that's great. So we need to start investing in those spaces that are used regularly, and that includes things like Wallace Hall. So this year we made sure to start putting in place investments for a brand new sound system. We are trying to do touch-ups in all of our third floor JDEC conference rooms as well. So I think we're starting to realize that we need to start investing in these items that have been neglected in the past because of the Queen Center project. And we are starting to make sure that we have a long-term vision for what that looks like. And that was part of the exercise for the JDEC long-term plan. We've been working very closely with the university to start making this a priority. And it's a difficult thing to do when there are different needs across campus. And particularly with the new budget model, if you look at deferred maintenance, for example, where would individuals want to put the money? In academic buildings, and that's of course okay. We are here for school, but the thing with student life space is that it doesn't qualify for provincial funding. And it's a much tougher sell to deans on why we should be investing in student life space. So we've actually been very proactive in engaging the provost's office on this issue, in engaging the new associate vice principal facilities on this issue, to make sure that student life space in terms of deferred maintenance remains top of mind for individuals who are making decisions. And I think this student life space master plan is the first of its kind, to my knowledge, that's being done in the country. And I think that we are pioneering a way forward in how we look and how we conceptualize student life space on this campus. And I think that's extremely exciting. And the fact that there was buy-in from the administration from day one, I think is comforting. And there's a lot more work to do. And of course, deferred maintenance and better buildings and better facilities for students will always be advocacy priority for student governments. We want to work hand in hand with the university because they are the landlord, and there's a lot of benefits in finding synergies and efficiencies, but we will always advocate in the best interest of students and the best interest of student life space.
Okay, great. That's all the questions. Yeah.
Great, thank you so much.